What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Little Scale Cars YouTube channel. Today, in the review box, we have the Tarmac Works Koenigsegg Jesko Attack. Now, this is the first Tarmac Works Koenigsegg Jesko that I've picked up. There's been an orange one, there's been a blue one. But this one is the kind of like presentation scheme. It's the one that caught my eye, the one I wanted the most. So, let's go ahead and take a closer look at it and see if it is better than the competition. Alrighty, let's get things started with our casting here. So, just taking a quick look, proportionally speaking, everything's looking pretty good, pretty solid. No real complaints from me. We'll go ahead and pop the real-life car up in the top right-hand corner. We'll kind of get a little comparison shot there so that you can see that everything's looking solid. Now, let's break the casting itself down here. So, metal body. Almost everything you see up here is going to be metal, except for the other things that we'll kind of get into here. And then we do have a metal base. This is a Global 64 release, so it does kind of fit like competition with the Mini GT, very much on par with that. This car does have a couple little things we should talk about, though. Plastic mirrors, okay? Not really surprising. Plastic rear wing, again, not surprising. And then these little supports here are also plastic. And then something of note is that there's actually like this little brace between the two here, which is kind of odd in my opinion. The CM model does not have that there. So I don't know if it's supposed to be like the break in the windows back here or what the deal with that thing is. It's a little bit weird and a little bit odd though, in my opinion. That being said though, there is actually some separation on that rear wing. So this is actually two different pieces almost. Like this has got some actual space behind it. You can kind of see the toothpick there kind of poking a hole between the two spaces on that rear wing. So that's definitely cool that that's not molded into one piece. That's actually the first brand that's done it that way that I have seen. So that's a big win in my book. Other than that though, everything is pretty much as you would expect. All your body lines are molded in and looking good. Nicely well detailed. Diffuser back here, part of the base. And then also it's again part of the base up here with the splitter. You got these louvers that are casted into the main body. Not looking great, honestly. It looks a little bit like Hot Wheels does it right there, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Casting as a whole is very solid. All right, so the paint and deco. Now, this one is the Lamley collaboration, I'm pretty sure. So you do get this nice metal flake white with the little green trim and then the gray stripes. Again, just trying to emulate the kind of presentation color scheme for this car, I suppose. But they do have the orange one, and they do have a blue one out as well. So if those are more your cup of tea, those are available. We do get the little Swedish flag right here down as part of the deco. Then you get more green accents back here on the splitter and then the diffuser, which aren't really like a lot, but they do help immensely with the look, in my opinion. Moving into our details. So, starting up front here, we do get a Koenigsegg logo and then that little stripe that the Jesko Attack has under there. Then you do get headlight inserts, which look very, very good. Kind of looking in there, you can't tell all that well, but there is little meshing right here with the ducts. And then, yeah, overall, pretty solid looking in my opinion. Looks pretty good. Coming down to the sides here, you do have accurate wheels to the real-life car, which is cool. No choice to swap them out like you did with the CM model, but that's all right. A little reflector here. Again, the little Swedish flag thingy and the little green bit there. Intake on the side here does have some like black plastic behind it, but I'm not seeing any meshing personally. Then that's got some paint. You get some Jesko little deco logo thingies right there. A Koenigsegg on the wing here, wing support I should say. You do get the ghost right there as well. Interior details are decent, but you can't really see inside the car that well anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Making your way to the far back section here. Two taillights looking phenomenal. Exhaust tip painted, Jesko license plate area, some reflectors, and yeah, you get some mesh work done that's been like casted in, molded in. Yeah, little Jesko thing there, looking pretty solid. And again, like I said, there is this kind of separation on the wing, and then you do get the Koenigsegg kind of etched in right there, a little tampo or something. Overall, extremely solid on the details, especially for a Global 64 release. Moving into our roll test, this being a Global 64 release, it is going to roll. It's going to roll very, very nicely. Always good to see that. When we put this one on the scale, it comes out to be 42.69 grams, so it definitely has a nice premium weight to it and feels good in the hand. No worries there. Pros and cons, getting started with our pros. The fine level of details is a big pro on this one. Like I have said a few times now, that kind of separation on that rear wing, very, very nice. First brand that has done that, as far as I know. Definitely of the officially licensed releases, that's the first brand that has done that. So very, very cool to see. And then the other one is going to be the price. This is a $13 model, and this is actually one of the more detailed, I would say, Global 64 releases that Tarmac has done, and I really, really like it. Now for our cons, though, there are two that I want to talk about. The first one is going to be this kind of thing in between the two wing supports. I don't know what that is. That's weird. I have not seen any other brand put that on the car, so it makes me feel like it's not something that's on the actual car. And I'm not quite sure what's up with that. If you know what is the deal with that thing, let me know down below. The other con that I'm going to mention is there's no kind of carbon fiber accent work, which is always a bummer in my opinion. Now, I know it's only a $13 model, and I applaud Tarmac Works for being able to get their prices down, because they used to be like $18, $15 for a Global 64. So they're coming down, which is definitely good. But at the same time, Mini GT has that $13 price point, and they almost always have carbon fiber where it belongs. So I do wish that we could get some carbon. So let's do some quick size comparisons here. Here we have it with some Mattel Koenigsegg's that you might have, with the Koenigsegg Jesko Attack from Hot Wheels and the Koenigsegg Chimera from Matchbox. And here we have it with some premium-ish Jeskos, with the CM model Koenigsegg Jesko Attack, which we have recently reviewed, and also the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute, this one from Poster Cars. With all of that out of the way, it is now time to find an overall score. Hype level for this one is going to be a 9.45. I think it was a little more sought after than some of the other Tarmac Works releases due to the Lamley kind of collaboration there. Let's see here. Execution, I'm going to give it a 9.85. I think it was done really, really quite well. My biggest complaints are going to be that kind of weird thing with the wing support, and then these kind of chunky dive planes up front. Feedback is going to be a 9.75 because I have seen some quality control issues that mine thankfully does not have. But overall, the majority of people seem to be pretty happy with what they got, and that is going to be a big plus. So when we take these three scores, average them out, we will be left with an overall score of 9.68 out of 10, which I think is a pretty good score for a very nice model, honestly. One of my favorites from the Global 64 lineup here, especially of recently. So I think this is very, very nice, and it has some finer details that some of the other Jeskos out there do not have. There are a few weird things that I'm not quite sure what's going on with them, as you have seen now. No carbon fiber work is also a bit disappointing, especially when you compare it to that CM model that I have reviewed already. That thing, oh, just looked so good with that carbon accents. However, this is on the cheaper side of the Jesko Attacks, especially of the officially licensed ones. I think the Hot Wheels is the only one that's cheaper, so that is definitely a pretty cool thing. There is almost certainly going to be more decos on the way, so that's kind of an exciting thing. I think I ultimately will end up collecting the majority of my premium Jeskos from this Tarmac Works, because they are pretty nice for being only about 13 bucks. So with that being said, I think it should be pretty obvious that I would highly recommend this one. Would I say get it over the CM model? I don't know. We'll have to do a diecast duel to really kind of put the two face to face there. But overall, I would definitely recommend collecting at least a handful of them because they are pretty nicely done. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. That is all I have for you. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new and have not done so already, and be sure to leave a comment telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.